Hello there, welcome to another week in my garden. Now it's Saturday today. It's been a terrible week for getting the work done with the weather, but today I'm going to plant 2 blueberry bushes. These are ones we've had in containers up at the greenhouse, so I've brought them down. We've made 2 raised beds for them now, so I'll just show you the raised beds and what I've done. Okay, right, nothing special to them, it's just the boards, 4 boards, and then they've been sunk into the ground a little bit. But what I found is that the clay is actually overlaying the garden soil, so when I dug through the clay, as you can see, I dug through the clay thinking I'll have to dig a big hole for soak away because these plants don't like to be sat wet. I came across the original garden soil that is below this clay band. So I've gone down to the garden soil, the original garden soil, turned it over with a fork, so I haven't now got to worry about them sitting wet, because that will take the moisture right down. Right, now we'll just show you what mix I'm using for these. Right, this is the mix I'm using. It's basically bark chippings, small bark chippings I used, and peat. I'm afraid we've got to use straight peat on this one because it must be acid. They want to be between 4 and 5 pH, so we know that by using this we will be there. No feed in it. Any feed that they want we'll put in using ericaceous feeds when they're growing. So I'll just show you what we're using. This is the bark. It's just mini chip bark, it's called. Readily available around here, so you must be able to get hold of it. So I bought 2 bags of each and a bag of just obviously peat. You know what peat is. I don't like using peat, but we're afraid we've got no alternative this time. We're trying to get in it acid. I'm not going to put any sulphur in it or anything to make it more acid, because these 2 mixed together should be the right pH. I will test it in the spring anyway, but I don't want to put too much stuff in it. I want to keep it as near as natural as we can. So what we'll do, we'll put this that we've got in the wheelbarrow into the raised bed, then we'll put the plant in, and then we'll top up with some more, and then if I have to mix some more, then I'll mix some more. Okay, now if you like, you can, instead of peat, use ericaceous compost. Quite a bit of cost involved doing that, but if you buy ericaceous compost, I think you still need to mix the bark with it. Up to you. This is the way I'm doing it. Okay, now if you see in the hole, I've already depotted this one and what was left in the bottom of the container, because the roots on these blueberries will only go down 15 inches. So I tipped in the compost that wasn't being used in the bottom of the big container, so that is ericaceous that's in there, and I've mixed it with that bit of soil that was in the bottom, the original garden soil. Now I put this liner in just to help keep them a bit moister in the summer, and it'll stop the timbers rotting quite as quick, and it makes it nice and tidy. I put the top on just to hold the liner in place. The liner will last about 5 years. I'll pop that in. There you go, we'll just level it out. Now I shall have to put a bit more in there because that's a bit low for putting the plant in. When I dug these beds out, I haven't really dug anything just there. This is where the old compost bins used to be, and I came across what looked like an old stump of an apple tree. It was a nightmare to get out, but it's made my raised beds a little bit on the squiff, so I do apologise for that. This is the stump that I dug out. I do believe it's an old apple tree. Just levelling off a little bit, pull it into the corners. Right, as you can see, it will take the plant now into it. Right, Here's the blueberry we're going to pop into there. As you can see, it's well rooted, and that is the depth that they will usually grow at. Blueberries will grow like weeds if you get the compost right, because they naturally come on a very acidy soil, and they are literally a weed. These are going to really enjoy it in there, and we'll hopefully get some nice blueberries. I will extend the fruit cage off at this end so I can get this work done, so that'll be put back, and then in the summer it'll all be netted, be able to keep the birds off it. So now I'm going to lift that into there. I want to get that so it runs down the bed so it gets better. This is quite heavy, so just bear with me one. There you go. Now we just have a look, see if it's square. It's bent over a bit because it was against the wall up at the greenhouse, so we're going to have to live with that, I'm afraid. But we'll just square it a little bit. Right, so that's got the bush into the raised bed, and now we'll top it up with the same mix. Do excuse the shooting, but we are living in a wooded area, so just pat it down, not too tight, remember. Let's push it in. Now when we're finished, remember not too tight, just, and you can see it's quite happy because it's spreading and putting new shoots out. Just take those leaves away. I'll just fill the other side up. I don't know if you noticed, but I've put some old pieces of carpet on top of the clay soil around here just to stop slipping about a little bit. As soon as they're finished, I'll take them up and throw them away, but they're very, very useful. It just stops you slipping and sliding and protects the soil a little bit. That's going in nicely. A little bit more. I'm sliding. Now, as you can see, that's nearly topped up. Right, now we've planted the blueberry in the nice acid soil. It's going to be happy, but we will need to top dress it at some stage. So what I should do is I'll find somebody who's finished with their Christmas tree, a real Christmas tree, or I'll probably go see the farmer and go down the woods and get some pine branches, put them through the shredder a couple of times, really chop them up. I top dress the whole bed with it to a good couple of inches if I can, and then leave it, and then that will make a really nice bed for blueberries. I'm looking forward to picking them already. Okay, as you can see, I've got everything ready for the other one now. Chop the bottom, the original garden soil that we found at the bottom, chop that up a bit so the drainage is good. I'm going to fill this one now and then show you the both finished. Right, if you remember, this week we were going to do the blueberries and the raspberries. I'm afraid the raspberries can't go in yet. The place where we're going to put them is so wet. We must get those in as soon as possible. Okay, right, so that's 2 blueberry bushes in. We put 2 in because you need one to cross-pollinate the other ones. 2 is good. Should get more fruit off them. They're in the natural soil, which is where they normally grow, is in the bottom of a forest in really acidy, piney sort of land. So we tried to copy it. Now if we got that right, we should be all right. I'm sure we have. But I will top them off with pine needle mulch and perhaps some old Christmas tree, anything really that of the pine family. Put it through the shredder a couple of times and I'll top them off on that. In the summer I feed them with ericaceous feed to keep them nice and acid. They are far deeper than what they need to be, the bed is, not the plant, but I had to do that because they do not like to sit with their feet in the wet. There are some varieties of this that they're only the small ones, but they actually like to live in the water, the wet. These don't, they like their feet nice and dry. So hopefully we've got it right and they should give us no more problems, but a lot of blueberries. Now the raspberry story, so this best left alone, so we'll leave it a few days to dry out. I have got them safe in pots, they're perfectly alright for a short while. We'll wait till the weather improves and then we'll get them planted up in this fruit cage near the others. Okay, so short one this week. At least we've got the blueberries in, which is, I'm pleased with that. So that'll be it for this week. Have a nice weekend, what's left of it. Keep warm, and I'll hopefully see you next week with my raspberries. Okay, bye now.